Never, never, never die. 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 Never die.
Fuck you.
All right. This is the Angry Dad. And before we get into today's podcast, I'd like to thank everybody listening, dialing in, and all that stuff. Everyday Fit Life. If you're looking for a program, if you're looking for a book, you're looking for a direction on how to dial in your training, dial in your nutrition, really lose weight, something that's going to not just give you a plan to follow, but that can actually mold your life into something consistent. You can easily find this at Everyday Fit Life. A link will be in the notes. Please check it out. I appreciate it. Let's get into today's show. Look, I'm just barely getting the swing of things, but there's an aspect of my life that I've never got an opportunity to talk about. And the reason I never got an opportunity to talk about is because it would rock the boat. It would change just the way emotions and way people are. You know what I'm saying? For those who are longtime listeners, but for those who are new listeners that are just tuning in, I'm married 3 times, divorced twice. I have 4 kids, 3 of them with my first ex-wife, 1 with my second ex-wife. And I never really talked about custody. I've never really talked about like the process and stuff like that. And the reason I never did is because if I gave an insight or someone caught wind or heard what I was saying, or even the advice that I give, my kids, the majority of my kids are all over 18. And my youngest son, me and his mom have a great relationship. So I'm not at all worried about that. But my first 3, it was a tumultuous relationship. It was always up and down. There was a real fight for custody. There was a real fight for time. There was a real fight for child support, all that stuff. And I never really got a chance or an opportunity to like talk about my process, my feelings, my thoughts of just going through that process. You know what I'm saying? Going to court, figuring shit out, really fucking like dialing in how I was treated, how I needed to conduct myself. I took it very serious because I wanted to be in my kids' life. And I literally lost my kids for about a year. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get to see them. I didn't get to talk to them only because I was waiting for court. You know what I'm saying? I could have done a lot of things, but it would have put me in a hole that I've never been able to climb out of because accusations, people saying shit, people doing shit. It's like, I told him not to come. He didn't respect my wishes. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of hoopla and bullshit that comes with the territory when you're walking this fine line, because divorce is not pretty. Child support, child custody is not pretty. It's a harsh reality that a lot of men live in. And I lived in it for a long time. You know what I'm saying? An awful long time. But through the process of wanting to be there for my kids, and like I said, I didn't have a lawyer. I didn't have anybody guiding me. I literally had the help desk, the help system that the court offers you, because they do have free help. You know what I'm saying? That's something that a lot of people don't know, is there's a lot of free help and a lot of free resources. But the thing is it takes time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many times I've put my job at risk to go to a seminar, to sit there and wait for hours on end just to get help. You know what I'm saying? Because like, even at the help desk, they can't tell you what to do, but they can show you and lay out the path of what you need to follow. And I'm a person who does his work, does his due diligence, really fucking like figures shit out. Like I don't let nothing get past me. If I'm interested in something, I dive head first, learn everything I possibly can. And that's just my personality. And I've had numerous men, numerous friends, numerous people going through the same situation that I've gone through when it comes to divorce and with child custody. And here's the thing is I can't tell anybody what to do with divorce, but with child custody and with child thing, understand that, like I said, I'm not a lawyer. This is just my personal experience. And because I've gone through it, and not just gone through it, but I went through the trenches. All right. Through the trenches. Like I went through horrible times in my life dealing with these ups and downs. But the thing is, I actually found a groove. I found a path. I was taught and given so many different tips, tricks, ways to conduct, ways to talk. And like I said, it's a perception thing. I know what I look like. I'm tattooed from the floor up to the head up, neck up. I'm fucking completely covered. I look like a horrible person. And even through my things, like I'm a drug dealer. I'm an alcoholic. You can paint a picture, and for the majority of the part, I fit that picture. But the thing is, I was never that. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, you have to prove yourself innocent. What's the saying? You're innocent until proven guilty. It doesn't work like that. You are guilty until proven innocent. And it takes a long time to prove your innocence. You know what I'm saying? They'll tell you it's one way and the other, but it's not. It's not. The system is rigged for women to win and men to lose. I will 100% say that with factual knowledge of my experience. All right. I've been there, done that. I've gone through it. I've fucking dealt with it. It sucks. All right. You know what I'm saying? Even when I first started, and like I said, 3 kids, I was paying like $900 a month. No way to survive. Forced to work so much overtime. I'm saying it's just wrecked. I'm living on a couch, living with my mom. And this is all in the beginnings. You know what I'm saying? Because it is a long process. It's a long walk. But once again, like I said, I have an obsession of when I want to learn something or when I'm ready to fucking buckle down and figure something the fuck out, I do. That's just that's who I am. You know what I'm saying? Persistent, if anything. And that's one of those things, like I said, I want to cover this in podcast form because, like I said, if other dads can hear this that are going through the same bullshit that I went through, and I know there's hundreds, thousands across the world, and I live in California, so understand a lot of the shit that I'm going to talk about goes through California law, California custody, all these things. And there's so many things I'd like to touch bases on. And for those who want, if this happens to pique your interest, send me an email, send me a link, send me a fucking comment, and I'll elaborate way more. But like I said, I just want to give a summary through the process of what I went through. And like I said, this is over years. You know what I'm saying? I got divorced and child custody. Like I said, this is decades. You know what I'm saying? All my kids that I'm talking about now, they're all over 18 now. You know what I'm saying? I'm past that fucking bullshit. I don't have to deal. My kids had their own phones. They all have their own lives. We have our relationships. You know what I'm saying? And it's fucking great. It's fucking beautiful. But I had to build up to that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of manipulation that happens on both sides. And it's hard to not badmouth somebody. It's hard. But like I said, when I'm talking about this is my side. This is my struggles. This is all my personal shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what this is. You know what I'm saying? I've been there, done that on my side, and I can give my perspective. You know what I'm saying? And even for the majority of it, like a lot of the perspective that I'm going to give is just what to do when you have to go to court. And like I said, that's just what I'm going to cover today. You know what I'm saying? If people want to hear more in-depth bullshit that I've gone through, all the drama and stress, I will definitely go into that. But as of right now, like I said, if you're a man just barely starting to deal with this, or if you're actually going through it right now, you know what I'm saying? You can't even get divorced until you have custody things done first. You know what I'm saying? All that shit has to be figured out. And there's no rhyme or reason. No one will tell you what to do. No one will tell you what to do. But like I said, these are my experiences of going into it. You know what I'm saying? And one of the first things is when you file, you know what I'm saying? Complete the paperwork. Tell the truth. Say what it is. And for a lot of the guys out there too, understand that a lot of us are the breadwinners. We make the money. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the guys in a lot of these relationships are the person either they work in tandem, both parents work, but one makes more money than the other. And that has a big thing to do with a lot of the court system. But here's like my first piece of advice. Understand that once you get separated, once you get divorced, once you go through all this bullshit, you don't have to work all these hours. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the main things because that's what they don't tell you. You know what I'm saying? As a man and as a father, you feel you have this responsibility to provide. But understand, providing is important, but your time is important. Your being with your kids is important because when you're going through these tough times, you don't badmouth the other parent, but you need to be present now. You need to be physically there now. All right? A lot of times the mom's I'm going to take the kids and that's it. So, no, I want even time from the beginning. From the beginning. All right? You don't have to work all these hours and you don't have to put in all this fucking time and effort to provide because guess what? You've just lost one person in your life that you don't need to provide for now. And like I said, I'm talking just from my perspective because that's what I did. I fucking sunk in. How am I going to pay for all this? She's moving out. They want this. How am I going to? Guess what? You don't have to dig yourself into a work hole because what the court sees and what the court wants is how much time are you spending with the kids? How much time do you have the kids? And if you guys get separated right away, guess what? You need to figure something out. Be amicable. People are going to be unreasonable in the beginning, but don't lean into that. What you need to understand is you need to be like, I just want my time with my kids. Guess what? I want half time. You get them half the week, I get them the other half the week. Or you have a split schedule, or you work out whatever it is, because as soon as you can get half the time now, it's going to set you up in court later. And how that sets you up in court later is because guess what? The calculation of child support, the way it's done is time possessed, who has what time, who has more time, how much you make versus how much she makes, and then it's calculated. You know what I'm saying? If you dig yourself into that work hole where you're just going to work 24 fucking hours a day, and she has the kids 24 hours a day all the time, and all you're doing is working, providing, and not doing nothing else, guess what? She's going to get a ridiculous amount of child support, and then you're going to end up owing that because they can prove that you can make that money. But the thing is, from the get-go, right away, you fucking ditch that mindset. That mindset of fucking, I need to be this person. I need to be this provider. No. And it sucks to say, but you're no longer a family. You're a single father who needs to provide, protect, and help these kids grow. All right. You're just not a fucking financial support. All right. That's the mindset that needs to happen, because that's not what anyone tells you. You know what I'm saying? This is something I had to learn on my own, and I'm talking about money. Money is a big part of all our lives. And it's an uncomfortable situation because you don't want to be a deadbeat dad. You don't want to fucking be looked at like this. No. You know what I'm saying? Being a deadbeat dad means that you're working 24 hours a day and you never spend time with your kids. Fuck that. Guess what? I want to spend all the time with my kids. I want as much time with my kids as possible. And if that means I need to work less, then I'll change my fucking schedule. You know what I'm saying? I had a great day job, and then I went to a night job so I can take care of my kids all day, pick them up from school, take them to school when it was my time, when it was my week. You know what I'm saying? I would literally pick them up in the morning. My mom would help me. You know what I'm saying? I had that support. You know what I'm saying? But everyone can work their schedule. Everyone can change what needs to be changed. You can get a different job. You can change your fucking lifestyle. If you got to uproot yourself, then guess the fuck what, uproot yourself. But your life revolves around the kids. And when it's your time to shine and take care of the kids. It's your time to be there. And you have to be there. All right. And the reason you have to be there is because it helps them mentally. They grow better because my dad is there. I'm in their life. I'm just not this person they see on the fucking every other weekend. I'm not this person that just gets to come around when their mom decides. No, you have to make that mental decision of, this is my family now. This is what I navigate. I don't support other people. I support just my kids. You know what I'm saying? And it's a tough fucking flip of the switch. It fucking sucks. But the thing is, you got to think rationally. You know what I'm saying? You have to think rationally. Set your kids up for fucking success. And the way you set that up is being the father that is present, teaching the lessons, the same thing you would do if you were a full family. But once you're a single father with your kids, no matter how many, and I got 4, like I said, and I struggled, I hurt, but I worked 8 hours a day, and I used to work 12, but guess what? I knocked it down to 8 because I want to be present. I want to be there. And my kids all turned out great because I'm always there. I'm always teaching. We have a great relationship because I just wasn't a working dad. I just wasn't a part-time dad. I'm a full-time fucking dad. And that's what I want people to understand. That's what I want people to learn. That's what I want you guys to fucking get. You know what I'm saying? And the first thing is custody. You know what I'm saying? That always has to be worked out before anything else is done. And even when you go to custody hearings, and like I said, before you even go to a custody hearing, you have to do what they call arbitration. And what arbitration is, they put you in a room with you and your wife. Your kids aren't involved. At no point in time are they involved. Even when you're like, oh, if my kids want to pick to live with me, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't work like that. It's between you and the parents. They put you in a room with a psychologist, and they basically want you to air out your grievances and want you to work out a deal. And that usually that deal, whatever the arbitrator, whatever the mediation, that person you talk to writes out a parenting plan and is like submits it to the judge, and the judge 90% of the time is going to go with whatever that person says. But the thing that they don't tell you is to be prepared for that meeting. And when you're prepared for that meeting and you go in with the right mindset, it changes the dynamic. Because guess what? It's a he said, she said thing. No one can prove anything. Anybody can say anything. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that you go in, you talk to the mediator. You never speak to your significant other ever. You don't address her. You don't listen. You just listen. Keep your mouth shut. Don't argue. Don't let your emotions take over, because foul shit will be said in there. It's the truth, because that's what happened to me. Like I said, I went to that meeting, and the first thing she said is, he's a drug dealer. He's an alcoholic. He's this. And the mediator turned around and looked at me and was like, would you take a drug test and supervise visits for your kids? And I said, yes. And when I said yes, he looked at me, but then I asked him, I was like, why do I have to do that? Well, don't you have a DUI? I was like, no, sir. I have a commercial driver's license. I'm this person. I have a great job. I get drug tested at work because I drive a commercial vehicle. And he was like, oh, okay, then don't worry about that. Out the fucking window. And guess what? I didn't address her. I just explained my side to him. You don't sit there and argue, because an argument just shows you're emotionally unstable. But to be rational and go in there and understand, guess what? The people want to paint the picture of who you are and who they are. But you don't need to listen to that picture. You know, they're not there to hear that. These people are psychiatrists who hear this shit all the fucking time. They listen to this all day long. That's their fucking job, is to write these parenting plans. But if you go in there and you're reasonable and you're personable and you just be respectful, like I said, you don't engage in arguments. You don't engage in facts. You just say your side. You know what I'm saying? Whether, you know what, look, I want all the time. I'm here for my kids. I'm not here to fight. All I want is as much time as I can get with them. I would like a split schedule every other week, or whatever works for your schedule. You see what I'm saying? That's how you lay it out. And then when you lay it out, you don't, like I said, you don't raise your voice. You don't, cool, calm, and collective. You go in there and you talk like that. You respond and only talk to the person in front of you and not your significant other, because that significant other, that person that is saying, and like I said, this is just from my experience. All right. I only went in there. I want my kids, and that's it. And I went from an every other week, and not even every other week. I had a day and a half. I get Saturday, half a Sunday. And then I went back again, and I got Saturday, Sunday. And then I got Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then I got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then I got a few more, and then a few more. And then next thing you know, it's every other week. And that's the thing too, is you can go back to court multiple times. It's not a wham, bam, and that's it. No, if you don't agree with the parenting plan, if you don't agree what's going on, guess what? You go back to court. You spend that time. You fill out the paperwork again. You file another motion. You file another response, and you go back. You go back every fucking time. If you're wanting to fight for your kids, you literally just go back to court. I don't agree. I just want more time. I just want more time. You're not asking for money. You're not asking for anything fucking crazy. You're just asking for more time. You know what I'm saying? And this worked because we lived in the same area. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it was. I just kept asking for more time. Just asking for more time. And then you got 50-50 fucking custody. And that's all calculated for child support. That every time you get more time, you pay less money because you have more time. You know what I'm saying? Like, even too, if you're providing medical, if you like, hey, we're splitting daycare, or she provides her daycare, I provide my daycare. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that stuff comes into calculation. But the thing is, consistently showing up and fucking just wanting more time, proving that you can have more time, proving whatever needs to be proved. And one of the biggest thing too is, I'm not a workaholic. I only work these hours because I was supporting these people. And guess what? When you're just supporting yourself and your kids, it doesn't cost any more than that. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to make more money because you are only supporting yourself and the others. And like I said, I'll speak for most men, just like myself. I don't need much. All right. I need a roof over my head, food in the refrigerator, and some TV and entertainment. Other than that, I would never spend fucking money. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I have my car payment. Of course, I have my fucking rent. Of course, you need money for those things. But the thing is, are you really spending more than that? And then when you have your kids, they don't require much either. It's food and clothes and maybe some entertainment, as in a video game, or we're going to go on this trip. And that's far and few between. But the thing is, that's what it is. You no longer have to support another human being. You no longer have to fucking pay into this fucking like family unit that was once there. And like I said, I'm saying it casually like that because guess what? That's the mindset I had to learn because I felt guilty. I felt horrible. I felt a certain way. And how are you supposed to really deal with that? You know what I'm saying? How are you supposed to really fucking, there's so much emotional strain on that. You don't know what to do because you feel guilty. But the thing is, guess what? You have to be real about this. Be rational about it. Really think this out. All right? That's what it is. You really think this out. It's because we have to take ourselves out of the emotion and the feelings of guilt, the feelings of fucking, I made this happen. Was it my fault? Was it her fault? Whatever the emotions or feelings are, once it's in motion, follow the fucking path of least resistance. And guess what that path of the least resistance is? Only asking for your kids. Only asking for your time. Only asking to fucking be a father. Because like when I talked to the mediator, you know what I'm saying? The first time I went there, I engaged. I fucked up. But because I went to the free fucking help desk, they sent me to a seminar. And the seminar, they were like, hey, you need to talk like this. You need to be like this. You need to be professional. This is an interview to see if you're emotionally unstable for the job. And then it changed my fucking life. One of the other things that I recommend this to is, hey, go to the courthouse and going to see a court meeting, a court happening, child custody and stuff like that. It's open to the public. Anybody can go see. And you can literally go in there and see how not to act, how not to talk. Because guess what? People go in there with this kind of attitude of fucking, I'm right. This is the way this needs to be. And that's not how it needs to be. Because like you'll see people fucking talk themselves into trouble. And once you realize that, it's, oh no, it's just being professional. It's being reasonable. I'm not asking for the world. I'm not asking for full fucking custody. I just want my time. You know what I'm saying? And that time is so important because as soon as you have that time, your kids and you will be happy. You know what I'm saying? Of course, there's going to be the drama. Of course, there's going to be a problem. Of course, there's going to be this and that. And document it all. Write it all down. You know what I'm saying? And even when you go back to court and you respond, you put all this information into the fucking court paperwork and it's okay. The judge couldn't read it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the times, like I have these text messages, I have these emails, I have this, I have that. Mediators don't give a fuck about any of that shit. What they give a fuck about is a police report, something from a firefighter, something from a teacher, something showing that something's bad on whatever end it is. You know what I'm saying? They like I said, hearsay doesn't mean shit. And when someone brings up hearsay, no, that didn't happen. And then don't even explain yourself. That's not true. You end a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like people will say shit. People like I said, we have this big thought process of, oh, I'm fucked. Yes, you are fucked. But if you go in there with the right attitude and you're being smart about it, it's like it makes a big difference. Because like I said, I've gone to court so many times. I think I went 4 or 5 times in 1 year just because I was like, I wanted more time and no one was listening to me. I know what I look like. I know how I fucking am, but that's not how they see it. They see I'm a piece of shit dad and I'm just here. No, I just want my time, sir. I want my kids. I want my time. And like I said, there was a lot of ups and downs and all arounds, but I fucking got my time. I did. I got all that in and I got 50-50. You know what I'm saying? There was a good portion of time where I was paying $225 a month in child support. And I no longer have to pay that. I haven't paid child support in years. And that's the thing. It's I didn't and I don't give a fuck. I would have paid child support, period. I don't point fucking blank. Came out of my check, never fucking saw it. Don't give a fuck. But the thing is, like I said, you need to work accordingly to what you need your life to be. And guess what? Less time at work, more time with the kids. We can survive off of 40 hours a fucking week because guess what? You don't need nothing fucking fancy. And like I said, this is just a small aspect. I'll definitely get a little deeper into this if people like it. But if not, it is what it is. I just wanted to say my fucking piece and all that fucking bullshit. That's just what it is. This is the Angry Motherfucking Dad. Thank you guys for listening. I'm also part of the Inner Circle Podcast Network group of powerful podcasters out there sharing their shit. It's innercirclepn.com. We have shows as The Plunge, Failing Hollywood, Simmons and More podcasts, Untrained Eye, The Hood Diner, and Shit Happens When You Party Naked. Make sure you go check it the fuck out. Let them know I fucking sent you, and I'll see y'all motherfuckers on the next one. Fuck.
Never die. Always living. Always living. Always living. Always living. Always living.